What's up, everyone? It's the Baller Bet podcast. My guy knows a guy. I'm here with Sosa the locksmith. What's
What
up,
up? What
bro?
up? What up? What's good, my boy? How are you today on this wonderful Wednesday?
It's an amazing day, bro. It's an amazing day. Yesterday was really fun to watch the games. It was sick, bro. It
It
was
was a
sick.
good night.
We did really well. We did really well. Stacked some units. Every day is its own day, but man, shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to the pace of the game. Made some pretty accurate predictions right here yesterday. We got an epic matchup in the Laker game. And then we got the Clippers, the abysmal performance by the
We
Clippers.
got
So
we got 21 AD foul shots.
20, 21 80 foul shots. Yeah, you said it.
21
You
AD
said
foul shots.
you said Nets by 25. AD's gonna shoot like 20 foul free throws. So, I covered that
So,
Laker game pretty well yesterday, bro. I was writing about it, all kinds of shit. Just want to thank everyone for listening as well, tuning in right now. We're gonna go through these games today. Express. You see the jersey, the Philly jersey Sosa has
y'all
on.
know what's up. Y'all know the deal.
Yeah, bro, we're going crazy. We're going crazy. Just to really kind of talk about yesterday's games, though, like, damn, bro, the Clippers, man, like, what's going on
Ooh,
there?
where do
If they
where
weren't
do
in, if they weren't in LA, they'd have to move them to another location. I'm telling you.
where do we start, man? Where do we start? For real. Like where do we begin? First off, we got to give the Mavericks credit. All right, they're shooting unbelievable. You're shooting 58% from the floor, 53% from three. You're going to beat anyone. Like it's insane. Now you can look at the game and say, hey, we're it's just them making everything. The Clippers aren't playing terrible. I could from what I'm watching. They didn't play terrible last night. I mean, they could have gotten a little more production off the bench, but I mean, they're just not missing. And then
What can
obviously
they
Luka,
do? All the factors are against them, bro, right now.
yeah, they're just
It's
they're
looking
just
pretty
making
interesting. I just
everything.
want to see how the line kind of opens up for Game 3. It's interesting to see that they went down 2-zip at the crib. Their future play experiment really is it's faltered.
It's looking a little suspect right now for sure.
It's looking suspect, bro. But yesterday we hit with you were spot on with the Brooklyn spread. The machine keeps rolling. Why
Hey
not?
man,
If it's not
Boston,
broke,
they just have no smoke. They have no smoke for anyone right now. They've been on vacation. It feels like I have no idea why they even tried in the play-in tournament. They're just not for me. They're just not there. They like I said yesterday. It's just Tatum can go for 40. Uh, Kemba could go for 30. They're not going to win. They don't have enough. This is an offensive juggernaut. There's no question about it. We know what we're getting. They're going to go out there and try and run you out the gym. If Joe Harris is hitting 6 or 7 threes, you're not beating that team. On that particular night, if
you're
he
not going to
does
beat them
that,
in any quarter.
it's no you have no chance of beating a Brooklyn team if Joe Harris is getting 20. When you look at the box score and Joe Harris got 20, you don't even really need to look at the rest of anything. They won by 20. I promise you. If that's happening, the ancillary guys can't get off for Brooklyn if you want a chance to to win the game, because you're already depending on them having players that perform poorly. If no one's performing poorly, they can't be beat. I'm wearing a Sixer jersey and I'm telling you that. Like that's
Absolutely crazy,
it's
bro.
just
In my opinion, the spreads. The only reason that they were single digits in this Celtics game is just because the odds makers didn't have that sample size with the big three, but they've clearly like undervalued the Nets with the spreads. Like, this shit is wild what they're doing.
I
Obviously,
totally
they're taking advantage of a weak matchup. You were right about the spread. I was right about the total. Things were looking pretty good yesterday with the pace of play in that game. Then we move on to 10 o'clock. We have both LA teams playing. To be honest, I played the Clippers and I played the Lakers. I hit the remember the conversation we had
I played the
after the
Lakers
Pirates
as well.
game. I went back on the Lakers live.
I played the
Again,
Lakers as well. It was kind of it was
I hit
kind of
them
one of those perfect
twice.
storms type of deal. A perfect storm type of situation. We saw it, a level of desperation. Also, Chris Paul. I mean, we got to mention Chris Paul not being 100%. I don't know how exactly they work with the rotations. You heard Reggie Miller's dumbass on TV the entire third quarter
The
talking
worst
about,
commentator in
oh, he's not
basketball.
coming back in the game. No, like he's definitely coming back in the game. It's just a matter of they're saving him to match up against not the starting five, right? Like you're going to put him in a more advantageous situation because he's not 100%. Right, you'd rather him go out there and put up those numbers. And that's when they made the run. They took the lead, and then the Lakers closed the game. Like Phoenix did a great job of this. They switched to zone early in the fourth quarter, and it confused the Lakers for a few. I wouldn't say necessarily confused, but they just missed the shots because they didn't get good looks,
and they were jumping out there.
Right, and they didn't execute as well against zone. Like I noted that. Like if you there was like a 4-minute stretch where Phoenix went to zone and Anthony Davis was shooting jump shots. They would get a couple of ISOs on the corner, but they weren't making anything. That's how Phoenix got back in the game. And then at the end of the game, when they went back to playing man, they had the advantage at certain positions. AD closed the game, and then they have the 6th man in the referees. They have that 21 foul shots.
I kid you not. I took the Lakers live when they were up by, I think it was 4 in the fourth quarter. It was when Phoenix was coming back on that run to close the quarter.
Right.
And I was like, damn, are these guys really going to lose to Cameron Payne with one eye?
Right. And now
this shit was looking crazy last night.
That's why it was, like I said, it was perfect. It's once they went back to man, Chris Paul's on the bench, end of game, and obviously that killed the Suns. It killed them. The execution's not at the same rate. The threat of him being that not only a playmaker but a scorer down the stretch, because that's Chris Paul. He's a closer. You know that in big games, he wants the ball, he wants to make a play. With him not being on the floor, Phoenix is an extreme disadvantage against anyone, especially against a team like the Lakers.
I wanted to see Chris Paul and the Suns full speed. I still have relatively minor, but I still have a Suns futures ticket. Played it a while ago. It was fun. They were crushing shit in the regular season.
You can't give up
I
on
didn't
it
expect it to happen again. Another injury. Like, you have this whole body of work throughout the season, and then that's what his legacy is going to end up being defined by if he doesn't win the title. It's
Absolutely.
just inopportune injuries at
the worst
times.
I think Chris will, if he doesn't get one with Phoenix over this next couple of seasons, right? I think Chris will he'll get a championship, but it'll be as him accepting a lesser role on another team. I think that's what it's kind of trending towards at this point, because he's snake bitten, man. I've never seen a player he made it through the whole season unscathed, no injuries, nothing. First playoff game,
pops his shoulder.
Immediate. I've never seen anyone like that in my entire life. I've never seen a professional athlete with that type of luck.
People on Twitter think it's some sort of karma. I've been seeing
some level of a curse. What did he do? He did something to somebody, man.
What did CP3 do, bro?
I don't know who he pissed off or who he needs to apologize to, but CP, reach out to that person, man, because it's fucking you up, man.
You want to just briefly touch the Clippers? I've already talked about this game.
Man, what more can we say?
Let's move on to today's games. Really,
Mavs not missing. They're gonna have to figure it out.
I do expect a different game in Game 3, though, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. The Clippers better make this into a backyard brawl, or they're getting smoked. They have to make this into a backyard fight.
I think the Clippers are gonna take Game 3. Don't hate on me for saying it.
I agree.
I think the Clippers are coming out.
I mean, we bet on them the last 2 nights, right? I mean, I did. I'm not gonna lie. I took them both nights.
You took Game 1? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I absolutely took them Game 1. I put a couple different angles in, first playoff game for Kawhi and PG in LA. Come on, you think they were gonna get smoked again? I didn't see that. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, sometimes it's just timing.
Yeah, and they
watch them look like
they did such a good job.
Watch them look like gladiators in Game 3
at home, right on the road, and also I think I saw. I know we've all seen this stat. Tyronn Lue has no playoff wins without LeBron James.
Still.
But still, I mean, as of
small sample size, but still,
he's got no playoff wins without LeBron.
We know it was Le GM, Le Coach, all that in Cleveland.
If they get swept, my
trainer,
Lord. If they get swept,
the medical staff,
he might get fired and never get a job again.
The owner, all that, man.
It really could be that bad.
With every passing moment, the Clippers just look more and more foolish. I'm a big Raptor fan. Me and you were rivals in the East, but hey, when it comes to things like the Clippers, we can agree because you got Doc Rivers and Kawhi bounced on us.
Hey man, they said Doc was doing it wrong. They said he was the problem. He's flourishing in Philadelphia with a less talented roster, according to what I've heard According to what I've heard, it's a less talented roster. That's what I keep hearing. Less talented roster. They have these two world talents at the wing, and Tyronn Lue's just going to go in there. They're going to play pace, shoot a bunch of threes, and this is what you're having right now.
All right, bro. I'm going to pull up some spreads right here on SportX. Same dash as yesterday. I'm just going to pull it up for
get into today. We're the first game in that, right?
Today. Yeah, the first game today is the Sixers-Wizards game.
Right,
I'm
not sure
the time. Tonight. I'll check the time, but it's Wizards plus 8.5. The total is 229.5. I'll see if that's changed since when we began speaking.
Obviously, I like us tonight. If we're just gonna get into what I've seen, what I've made of like, let me go pull up some of these notes that I have. I think that a good someone who shined in the first game was I was talking about him was Gafford, Daniel Gafford. I mean, the fact that he had 5 fouls lets you know he also probably gave you the most physical defense of any player on the team. Right? I mean, if he's the one hacking the guy.
He was active in that
game.
He
was super active. And we've spoken on him. Best pickup at the trade deadline of any team. Of any player. Like you could talk about Vucevic because Vucevic will probably play dividends in a couple. I don't know. Chicago might flame out and be a bunch of bullshit. Like, be honest. We don't know what's going to happen. They lose Zach LaVine. They could be in the shitter next year.
That's 100% true.
Right. So getting Vucevic, it sounds good, and in theory, it looks good, but you might not have anything to go with them next year.
And they were talking about Zach LaVine leaving Chicago before the Vucevic trade.
So, like I said, Gafford, just the dividends that he's paid for a team since joining them, he's been the best. I mean, he's been a pivotal part as to why they've made the playoffs. Like, it might not show in the box score or the post game interviews because Russell Westbrook's getting a triple double every night. But look at Daniel Gafford's numbers. They've been great. I say all that to say is that I'm just giving them props. I don't think they have a chance tonight. Embiid didn't. I mean, we didn't shoot the ball particularly great. We kind of fed the hot man in Tobias. We saw what Tobias Harris is able to do when. I mean, he's been doing it all year, but it's like it makes a difference when everybody's watching, right?
Tobias Harris attempted 29 field goals in game one. He's a player that I think it's tough though because Washington doesn't necessarily have the personnel. Right. But just in terms of volume, I think he might come down to earth today in his PRA.
Well, it's because of how hot he was. I mean, in the first half, I believe he had 30 or 32, right? I was at the game. I was kind of faded the whole time. So
yeah, you were at the game.
Yeah, but
how was that? How was that with the
fans? Man, COVID is over. Like that's what I got from the game like yesterday, like that or on Sunday. COVID is over. Like it was pretty packed in there. I had a great time. The energy was electric. It felt like a playoff game. Obviously, this was the 8th game I've been to this year, and easily the energy was actually real. There was no. They had us sitting in pods throughout the season where it's like a lot more spaced out. It wasn't as spaced out. There were people everywhere. It was loud. It was wild, and the city came out. Like I said, the playoffs we're getting back to normal. You're good. You know what I mean? And it's beautiful to see. That's my favorite part of the whole thing. Actually seeing fans in the stands because we make a difference.
Especially with the Sixers have the best home record since 2017 in the NBA.
Say that one more time.
Against the spread as well too, I believe. The Sixers have the best home record in the NBA since 2017.
I knew that. I just wanted to just say it again. I already knew that. But yeah, no. We played great at home. Getting the 1 seed was
Raptors.
Crucial. Getting the 1 seed was crucial. So yeah, in regards to us,
in regards spread, 229.
In regards to this game, I would be I'm very bullish on Joel Embiid. Let's face it, they have no answer for him. Okay? He had 30 points on 16 shots. Okay, that lets you know he shot a high volume of free throws. He only played 29 minutes. He had 30 points in 29 minutes. Because of
Tobias. Because of Tobias' first half.
And remember, that's us feeding the hot guy. He still did that.
Let me ask you this. Did you expect, as a Sixers fan, did you expect them to unleash Tobias in terms of shot attempts like that? Or was that a surprise to everyone?
It's an equal opportunity offense. And whoever's hot that night's going to get the shots. Listen, his role is his role. He does that every night. He goes out and gets 20 every night. Now, any player can start hitting. Like who was it the other night that was hitting? They just kept giving him the ball. Forbes from Milwaukee. When you're hot, your teammates. That's what you're supposed to do. Your teammates are supposed to find you and know this guy's got it going on tonight. And they did a very good job of that. They kept giving him the rock. And also, it's a good matchup for Tobias. He's quicker than all their bigs. He's bigger than all their guards, right? And then based on who he's out there with, who are you going to match up with? Because on defense, you got to pick. Are you going to pit a wing?
The Wizards have some size, but their bigs, they get left flat-footed in any defensive situation. With
it's also
Harris
remember it's
so
a
many
matchup
times.
He's a 6'9", 3/4. The point guard 6'10". So you're going to have.
Let's talk about how they edge. That's how the Wizards edge within the spread. They when it comes to covering. Thanks for watching as well. I see people in the chat too. Just what's up, Baz, Jan, Danny, my guy, Akbar, Simba. How's it going, guys? Yeah, we're just here kicking and talking about the games tonight, trying to continue this playoff run and just get to the mountaintop. What's up, Colder? We're trying to stack these units, throw it on the vault, laugh about it later.
You already know. Bottles. You already know. Last night was a lovely evening, another lovely NBA evening. Today
it was
should be equally the same. Like I said, I'm very heavy on Joel. 30 and a win, 25 and a win, double and a win, all three. Anybody?
Joel smorgasbord.
Joel Embiid.
I like Ben Simmons 13.5 on the points tonight. If you look at his stat line, 6, 15, and 15. Monster in terms of overall
double without 10 points. Now that's pretty fucking impressive.
It's pretty impressive.
For the people that are mad,
it's a unique. He's a money ball. Ben Simmons is a money ball type of player. Like his stat lines are always pretty unique.
Take the rebounds and assists. What can I say? If you're betting points, it's risky. But if the rebounds and assists, we got wings, we got shooters on the roof now. It's the hardest thing for him to get is the points. It really is.
If my theory of Tobias PRA possibly coming back down to earth, I think Ben Simmons has a shot of going over the 13.5.
That also I agree with 100%. I agree
because the first game was only 12.5. He scored 6. Now it's back up to 13.5. There's probably a schematic change or something that's being factored into that.
That's because of expected regression. I mean, Tobias had 37. I don't expect him to have 37 tonight. I expect Tobias to have around 21 to 23 points. That's what I have him at tonight. I have Seth Curry having a good game. I also have the bench having a great game. I think the bench dominates tonight. I think depth change. Like tonight, we see Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard is pissed that he gave up 3 alley-oop dunks to Gafford. I like to see our bench perform really well tonight. Like I said, depth and just for their wing players, they're bad matchups. They're smaller guards that have to match up with guys who are dogs on defense. I think that as long as we continue what we did carry on from the first game, which is make Russell Westbrook work hard, make Bradley Beal work hard, and realize that the other guys, if they hit shots, you got to live with it. But don't let those two get off, and you give yourself a great chance to win the game and usually cover because that's what happens. If Beal's taking 30 shots,
what about the spread? What about the spread?
I like us to cover tonight. And also, you can find value like buy 2 points. If you buy 2 points to what is it at 8, you buy it to 6. I believe that should be great value. What is the value on SportX right now for that?
Yeah, I'll check right now. I was just looking at the money splits. Personally, I like Tobias Harris, the PRA under, but on the game, I think that I like the Sixers tonight to cover. I like the Sixers to cover tonight, but I'm probably not going to play it. There's like 1 or 2 other spots that I'm probably going to play.
Sixers have been watching the Nets. We've been watching the Nets
go crazy and crush teams.
We've been watching the Clippers. I know Doc Rivers been watching the Clippers.
They have the personnel to cover and cover big tonight.
From the jump, I said it was a bad matchup. I like us in 4 or 5. I still like us in 4 or 5. It's just like what we saw with a couple of these better teams. First game, they let the other team hang around, and then once we figured it out, they had no chance. If you're watching the game, Washington never had a chance on Sunday. It was
Never.
pretty much wire to wire. They made a little run, but it was never like, oh man, we're scared or we're worried.
They
It
played.
was never.
They played a quality first half, like
They did.
offensively.
They absolutely did.
But their turnovers and just their lack of front court depth in terms of offensive, like being dynamic, that shit caught up to them quickly by the end of the game. Obviously, free throws. The Wizards are not the best free throw shooting team. So
Yeah, I mean,
that,
Russ. I mean, it's because Russ gets to the line a bunch of times, but he's an average shooter. I mean, I think outside of him, they're pretty good. You know, like Beal shoots like 90 something. That's how bad he's been. Like I think Beal's like 90. The majority of their wing guys shoot it really well too, but it's really Russell Westbrook that is a poor free throw shooter that hurts them. As far as like the everything that goes into that team stat, you know what I mean? I think if you take him away, they actually shoot it rather well.
they probably do. They just need. They don't have it. It's a bad matchup. The Wizards season. I know that they made a splashy acquisition in terms of trades and stuff with Russell Westbrook. They sort of mortgaged a lot of things, but they got rid of a bad contract in John Wall. Do you think that their season is a success as currently constructed? Like if they were to get bounced right now, which is highly likely,
Yeah, I mean,
is their season
yes,
still a success
yes,
with the star power they have?
yes. I would have to say that it is. Thomas Bryant at the beginning of the year, they had a huge role cut out for him. Got hurt, blew his knee out like 10 games in. Right? Westbrook missed some games, or Beal missed some games. Somebody else got hurt. Their first round pick, Denny Avdija, broke his leg. He was showing promise. Broke his leg. Soon as I mean, you got to take what you can get at this point, man. You got to it's a newly constructed roster. You're bringing a point guard, a high volume point guard. I know he's played with Scott Brooks before, but I think it's a victory. Just making the playoffs, just based on how poorly they started. Chemistry. It's a COVID year. It's so many things that go into the whole. You know what I mean? To the whole equation. I think that them simply getting to the playoffs was a big deal for them.
Hell yeah. So for me, I'm gonna chill on this one. You know, the Wizards, they're not as, you know, I can see the Sixers covering today. I'll probably look at this game for a live bet. I'm not really trying to force too much, but they're the better team. I just know that with the 8-point spread, you know, it's a bit of a sneaky spread. The Wizards are a sneaky team, but they don't have the horses in the long run. So they're also not going to be getting my money today. The Sixers, I just feel like, you know, they didn't cover the first game. Naturally, I would lean on a team that has the horses to cover. In the second game, great home presence. All the factors lean towards the Sixers. You might really even talk me into it by game time, really. Are you going to the game tonight?
I'm 50-50 on it. I sold my tickets, but I can still get like other ones. So I'm like, I haven't decided yet. I'm really more pressed for like next round, you know, Eastern Conference Finals. You know, I'm not really. I think we have.
No baby.
I have no fear. Like the Wizards put no fear in my heart. The Knicks put no fear in my heart. The Atlanta Hawks put none of them put any fear in my heart. They can't match up against us. Like, have you seen us play against Atlanta? Good luck with that one.
I know. I remember when Joel Embiid dunked on John Collins. That's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how things progress. Just going to see who's going to step in front of the Nets. I know you're pretty confident in the Sixers. Things are looking crazy. Akbar says the Beal will have a monster night tonight. It's the worst matchup for the 76ers. He says the worst matchup for the Sixers are the Bucks. They have their number. If that matchup happens, the Bucks need to get past the Nets.
I think
the Sixers handle their business to get the number one seed.
In all honesty, I think the Bucks have the best. Okay, when we talk about players and rosters, right? Sometimes the thing that people and teams like the casual fans team neglect is fit. The players that Milwaukee have fit what they want to do. They're not all stars. They're not all superstars. They fit. And it's the same deal with the Sixers. The players fit. Like their names aren't flashy. They just fit. Milwaukee right now, the one piece that they needed was a playmaker outside of Giannis who could, one, allow Middleton to just be a scorer at the end of games and not have to make critical decisions and turn the fucking ball over, and a guy who you could play and pick and roll with Giannis at the end of games. right? They have that. Milwaukee has all the pieces you need to fit. They got bigs that can give you problems at the rim. They got athletic guys that can play more than one position with Portis, and they all defend.
Milwaukee needs to worry about Brooklyn before we even entertain the Sixers Bucks thing.
The thing is, I like Milwaukee better. I personally, and then this is away from. I like Milwaukee better than I like the Bucks. I think Milwaukee is a terrible matchup.
You said the same. You said the same team. You said Milwaukee and
for the Nets. For the Nets, I like Milwaukee is an extremely tough matchup for them. Just look at they beat them back to back games. Obviously, we're gonna hear the whole narrative that James Harden didn't play. I agree with that. He did.
Mark my words. The Bucks giving Drew Holiday $160 million at the age 32 will come back to haunt them.
I think it was well worth it. I think they'll get a ring.
I think it was too short-sighted to me. It was short-sighted.
I think they'll get a ring. I think they'll get one out of it.
It's going to be entirely different when he's 35 and you're paying him 36, 37, 38
right, but remember, all you need is one. That's the thing. All you need is one. And you don't need him to be your best player.
How are you saying the Bucks are going to break through now and get a ring when honestly this is probably their only best chance?
But the thing is,
you're saying the Sixers are going to win.
I can't agree. I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying that they're going to win it this year. I think the Bucks have a great, just like you just said, the Bucks have a great.
He's going to regress again.
They have a great
Holiday will regress from this point forward. Drew Holiday will regress.
I'm a Giroux guy.
I like Drew Holiday, but he's going to. But it should have been a 2-year deal.
You're not asking, but you're not asking him to be the best guy. Giannis is still in his prime.
$160 million, and then you have $178 million tied up with Chris Middleton. The Bucks don't win this year.
You had to pay Middleton though, because no one's coming to Milwaukee. Like they didn't. It's not like they had no choice. They had no choice but to pay Middleton.
I'm a firm believer in 5-year contracts. Max contracts will set your franchise back 5 years.
I'm a Drew guy.
If improperly timed. I know you're a Drew guy. 5-year max deals improperly timed. When you give the players the power like they did to Chris Middleton.
I think part of it's fit, man. Drew fits what they want to do.
It can set you back 5 years. It can set you back 5 years. It's like botching a top 10 draft pick. It's Drew Holiday from this point forward. I think he's just going to regress, and they can't add to the team.
But my question is, how can you
add to the team?
How can you say he's going to regress, right? When they've literally played their best basketball in Giannis's entire career with him.
You're absolutely right.
Record-wise, he plays better.
I was laughing at the comment too. He said throw a parlay on the board. He needs to get his money back. Yeah, we're going crazy about the games in the playoff picture. We're just talking ball. You guys can probably read into our angles and our opinions just by the way we're talking about these teams. We have other tickets going on too, series bets, futures bets, all kinds of stuff. So let's go into the game that has the most attention today. Naturally, the New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks. I know you were on the Hawks game 1.
I was indeed. They took care of me well. They
stopped the New York Knicks from glory, from media glory.
Hey, man,
we have the mayor of New York taking time out of his day as a politician,
bonehead,
to make a public service announcement to snipe at Trae Young.
That was the most swagless PSA ever.
It's
ever. De Blasio.
Trae Young took the heart out of New York City game 1. I find it highly unlikely that they do it game 2, but the city of New York, the state of New York, and it looks like America is once again betting on the New York Knicks,
and they're betting on them
in mass amounts.
Seen, they're going crazy. Listen, man, and I'm one of them. They got me tonight. Listen, they got me tonight. Listen, R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle combined for 12 of 38 from the floor. 12 of 38. I'm not gonna lie. Julius Randle looked nervous. He looked nervous. That's all you can accredit that to, dog. He still hit a big shot down the stretch. Like he hit a huge shot down the stretch, but
he woke up for like 1 minute.
Right, but it wasn't enough. Like it
wasn't his day, bro. He
wasn't all there. And then RJ looked like a second-year player in his first career playoff game.
In the second half.
Yeah, in the second half, yes.
But he had that crazy dunk. He was hitting some threes. RJ Barrett needs to step it up tonight. I'm looking at RJ Barrett tonight. He needs to step it up. Alec Burks being the team leader in scoring.
He shouldn't be your best player in the fourth quarter.
Shout out to Alec Burks, bro.
Shout out to him. He had a great game.
He single-handedly tried to bring the first half home. I did not. If you guys notice, I did not take the Knicks first half game one. I'm taking them today. I'm taking the Knicks first half money line today. I'm close to taking them full game money line.
Knicks first half.
I have Knicks first half money line today. Alec Burks, Derrick Rose, they're getting it done tonight. I'm not going crazy, but I'm taking the Knicks first half in this situation. I'm a big Atlanta Hawks fan this season. I respect Nate McMillan. I've been tweeting about Clint Capella, Bogdanovich all season long. I expect them to also have monster performances, to be honest. They're still disrespecting Bogdanovich, 17.5 on the point spread, on the points total. But I think the Knicks, just when it comes to energy, this is a game that they're going to give free money to everyone tonight. They're going to give free bread. They're going to give free bread to everyone, like how they gave free bread with the Nets last night.
Two takeaways from the first game that were extremely.
Go ahead. I'm gonna pull up some stats while you're talking.
Two things that were extremely strange. In the second half, Atlanta absolutely murdered New York on the boards. That never happens. In the second half, Atlanta made all the effort plays. No Tom Thibodeau team gets out hustled. At the end of that game, they got out hustled. They did not rebound the ball well, and Trey got loose. Also, if you notice, I don't know if everyone knows, how the fuck do you put Frank, Nil, whatever, into the game to go guard Trae Young?
How do you put him in the game ever?
He hasn't played.
How do you put him in the game ever?
Right, hasn't played all game, right? And you just bring this dude who's been sitting on the bench in as some fucking defensive guru genius against. Thibodeau fumbled the bag. People got to say what they saw.
Coaching error. There are errors.
He fumbled the ball as a coach. Like, what are you doing? This guy hasn't touched the floor all game. You put him in for one possession, and he got absolutely barbecued. This man got turned on defense and blew by.
He wasn't ready for that situation.
Frank
Ntilikina will probably never be ready for that situation. He's had an abysmal NBA career up to this point.
I just don't get it.
It's a waste of a lottery pick, and they threw him out there. I think it was more of a lack of confidence in Elfrid Payton. But Elfrid Payton is a veteran who can still provide better defense.
If that's all it is, man, just have IQ get barbecued. If you're gonna let a motherfucker go get barbecued,
Frank Ntilikina coming in that game was the biggest diss to Elfrid Payton ever.
Just let Quickly go get cooked then, because he could have done that bullshit. Like he could have got out the way for this nigga Trae Young to just go straight to the rim. Like he could have done that.
I like Knicks money line first half. I like Knicks full game money line. I like Knicks Hawks over 212.5. I like Julius Randle over.
I love the over.
Points.
The overplay for me is a lock. I think we got 100. I think it was 203 points scored, and they both teams.
It hit 212 at the end.
It was 212 at the end.
It got to 212. It got right around the number. I'm pulling it up right now if you want to see.
Right.
It's also their head to head. They're head to head this season right here.
I think it goes over tonight too. Again, it's the first game of any playoff series is a feel-out process, right? We really saw no offensive rhythm whatsoever from the Knicks at any point, right? It was like Derrick Rose played well. He had a couple and then it was what's my man's name? I keep forgetting his name because he never fucking does this. Alec Burks, who obviously played for Philly last year.
Yo, I honestly believe from all the times we took Knicks first half, Alec Burks might be one of the best second quarter players, bro.
Bruh.
In the second quarter,
this
guy goes crazy for the first half. Like,
just
he
keeps
goes
going.
crazy.
And I
pay that man. Somebody pay that man.
Don't nobody want him.
Utah wishes they had him right now. They drafted him, didn't they?
And Utah's fine.
So what's your stuff in this game, bro? Let's go straight to it. We can talk about the Jazz game. I don't have too much on that game, but
a good prop play in this game is Julius Randle's assist. I think the guys around him know they got to shoot it better, and I think that they will shoot it better. I believe the number is probably around 6.5. I like him to have a good game all across the board tonight. I expect Julius Randle, after getting his trophy yesterday for most improved player. Shout out to Julius Randle, most improved player in the NBA. I mean, it was obvious. But yeah,
Cameron Payne, not Cameron Payne. Cameron Payne's, bro. Cameron Payne was a side. He was a side act
Cameron
in
Payne. I fucking
OKC.
hate that guy.
I just keep thinking how he had one eye last time. That shit was
I
crazy.
might,
He was looking like a maniac. He was playing like a maniac.
I might go Knicks -2 to be honest, bro. If I might just take him to win, like just to get the added juice. To be totally honest. As far as props, man, I like John Collins against the Knicks. I like the matchups. I think he can do better than he has been. I like him against them tonight. I like him tonight.
Let's go through it. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go just soon, like pretty soon.
No doubt, no doubt.
Let's go through. Just list your picks again. I'll list mine, and we can talk about the Jazz game just super brief, and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, no doubt.
I have a couple baseball. Too, but
I like Capella to get me, or Collins to get me 15 points. It's at -140. And I believe, let me look at this. This is, and like I said, I like Julius Randle's assist tonight. Julius Randle's assists tonight are at over 5.5. I think that's a very. I think that's a pretty.
I have to tell everyone as well, like the previous two games Julius Randle had versus the Hawks before Game 1, the man dropped like 44. Remember one of his like.
Well,
he had 44.
It was a playoff game, playoff atmosphere. They're not used to that many fans in the building.
He had 28 the other matchup.
Some of those fans showed up for the other team. That's something that you don't really necessarily expect. Like I said, man, I expect the Knicks to be fully prepared tonight, and I believe that Tom Thibodeau buttons things up and they get it done. I like Randall's assist. I like Randall to have a good game. And I like John Collins to score 15 points.
And you said go over 212.5.
Yes. Also, please, we must monitor if Nerlens Noel plays.
That's going to make it go over if he doesn't, to me.
See, if he plays, though, he offers another level of resistance at the rim and in pick and roll defense. He plays perimeter players very well for a big guy. So he does make – Nerlens Noel makes a huge difference on the defensive end for New York because, like I said, when he comes out of pick and roll, he can guard smaller guys. He's athletic enough to get around smaller guys. So that's something to definitely pay attention to.
Thanks for that too, bro. I've got Knicks first half money line, full game money line, Julius Randle over 25.5 points, and I have the total of the game over 212.5. 4 picks for that, all from that game.
I love the over. I love the over, personally. I love it.
Donovan Mitchell's coming back in the Jazz game. If you guys are also interested, join us on SportX. We're going to be entering some tournaments. The Blowfish Open, the Summer Open qualifier, $2,000 worth of prizes in each tournament. Make your way over to SportX.Bet. Sign up for the site. The tournaments themselves are free. You get paid extra tokens and stuff as you're going along. Excuse me. It's a no-brainer. There's another I'm going to announce on the SportX Project Twitter later today that we're doing another NBA tournament for just this weekend. So hopefully everyone can participate in that. I like everyone to participate and just put your skills to the test. Try to win some extra cash. Send me a DM if you want to get integrated with the platform. If you have any questions with the platform, I will take some time out of my day to help you learn what's going on.
Definitely tap in.
Follow Sosa,
anything
Locksmith
crypto
on Twitter.
And
follow
Instagram.
Sosa the Locksmith on Instagram. And
Twitter, Instagram.
He's already established on Instagram. That's actually where we met. And Clubhouse. He's a bit more newer to Twitter, trying to help him get his numbers up, get acclimated with what's going on. He's really, really sharp. Knows what he's talking about. Follow his page. What do you feel? Just quickly, I'm laying off the Jazz game just as a fan.
I'm fully committed to this one. I'm fully committed.
Hit him with it, bro.
Utah Jazz at the crib cover tonight. That's it. That's all. I mean, if you're scared, go to church. If you're scared, don't gamble. Tonight, they can't lose. They have to win. I mean, I know people are like, oh, it's a 1-8. They have to win tonight. Okay? This Memphis team is hot. You get your best player back. If he's 80%, you should be able to run them straight out of the fucking gym. I believe it. You make the shots you usually make. This team shouldn't be on the court with you. I don't care if they have Jaren Jackson. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about any of that. This Utah Jazz team is better than the team on the other side. I thought without Mitchell, but obviously John Morant and Dylan Brooks are showing that they're total dogs and they're young guys who are ready to ascend. But you get your best player back, you cover at home. Simple as that. Yeah, it's pretty for me. Utah at the crib, they handle business. I don't think that there's anything you could tell me to talk me out of that. I don't care if John Morant escorted Steph Curry off the premises. That was last week. I don't want to hear about that no more.
I can see the Jazz getting. I mean, they didn't even. They lost by what, 3? They didn't even shoot well in the first game.
And that's what I'm saying.
The Jazz are an elite team. They're one of the greatest 3-point shooting teams in NBA history. So we know psychologically that when these teams go under their averages the way they did in Game 1, that it's just good. It's just good value to assume that they're going to at least get back to their average or close to it.
If I were them, I'd be fully confident. I mean, your best player didn't play. He hasn't been playing. You played good ball. First game, you were right there at the end. You just couldn't finish. That's why you need your best player. It's pretty clear.
If it makes sense, I'm laying off this game because of Donovan Mitchell not being informed just visually for me. You know.
I know. And listen, I
know that's the caveat. That's the trick. That's the trick of the house. Like
you lay off somebody when their star player comes back.
Take a look at the volume. Take a look at the volume, bro, of the game so far today. It's the Jazz. The Jazz game is the least bet on game so far.
Right,
of the 3.
I can imagine. Well, also it's probably the least entertaining of the 3. We're keeping it real. That you think that could play a part in it?
I think that the house is the books are banking on people are gonna not really touch this game.
Right.
Why the sharps, the sharp big money. The big money is not really going to touch this game because you want to see Donovan Mitchell get his feet wet, get acclimated, reintegrated with what's going on. The Jazz,
he's off the deep end today.
It's not like he's been out for a week. The guy's been out for like 5-6 weeks.
If you can get Donovan Mitchell for matter of fact, hold on, because I was only gonna take them to cover the spread. Let me look up one thing because I'm gonna put a couple dollars on this for sure. Hold on. Because I know I can get.
We're also getting reports that he is absolutely he's so angry at the team for the medical staff for scratching him and not letting him play before Game 1. It might be smoke and mirrors. A lot of these series are affected by smoke and mirrors. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Jazz come out and just crush these guys.
Donovan Mitchell, seamless, dog. He knows the system. He's the best player.
Danny, my guy, asked what happened to Clubhouse.
It died.
Bro, they shouldn't have just made it invite only to me. Why?
What happened with Clubhouse? You want the honest truth? A bunch of people on there didn't know what they were talking about, so it creates a bunch of discourse amongst having an actual conversation or trying to get something accomplished. That's how I feel. Too many voices.
A lot of cool people on there, though.
A lot of cool people on that. Met a bunch of really, really cool, dope people off of Clubhouse. But for me personally, come on, man.
Yeah, but let's save that we can talk about that another time.
Yeah,
also,
for sure.
There's tech trends behind it too, like Instagram, Twitter. It's a vulture tech culture.
Twitter's better. I mean,
thank you guys for sticking around.
Plus people.
Sosa's on the Jazz tonight. You guys know me. I usually chill out when the star player returns. Not really endorsing either side in this game. We know that the Grizz, they're playing good ball at the right time of the year. But the line is still telling. The Jazz are a team. I think they're just a respected team when it comes to odds. I can see them coming out tonight, but I'm gonna chill out and wait for this game to progress to Game 3. I wish you the best with that bet right there.
Hey man, at halftime we should listen. The Jazz will be up by 15 plus at halftime. This is gonna be an absolute walkthrough.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up, and thanks for sharing as well.
Honestly, believe that.
So for me, I've got Knicks money line, Knicks first half money line, Julius Randle over 25, and the game over 212. I've got 4 picks today.
I love all those.
And what's your final? We can go ahead and get out of here. Baseball, I'll probably just keep it to Twitter for today because my laptop battery is actually about
Philly to cover, Jazz to cover. I love the Randle 25.5. I love the over in the Knicks game, and I'm either money lining the Knicks or I'm gonna just take a -2 for the added juice. one or the other. But I'm on the Knicks as well.
That's what's up, bro. Enjoy your day. Thanks for kicking it with us this
Appreciate you, man.
afternoon.
You already know.
We'll probably be back in the morning tomorrow, a bit earlier. Today we just had some other things going on. Follow Sosa the Locksmith on Instagram and Twitter. Myself, my guy knows a guy on Twitter. Follow the SportX project to follow the #1 sports project in crypto. Very, very exciting time right now. And also follow SportX Insights. I've been doing some blogging on there with the team, covering the games overall. And Sosa, he's on point as well. Make sure you follow all the accounts. You guys need to have the notifications on, be in the loop. Sosa's basically blogging the games all day as well.
Yeah, let's get to it.
We talk about the games all day.
All day, man.
When real life
it's all about
is not in the way.
information. It's all about information. That's why we're here.
Real life is not in the way. Real life is real life, and this is entertainment. But we're having a lot of fun with it, and we're
making a lot of money. That's
my most
best
profitable
part.
season ever as a sports bettor this season. My most
man.
profitable season ever.
It just
for
gets
a variety of factors.
It gets better and better it gets better and better based on the time of year. To be honest with you, it's been a great 2-year run so far. To be totally honest.
We have some afternoon baseball. I'm taking the Cards plus 1.5, and I'm taking the A's. I'm running it back from yesterday. Lost on those.
I haven't
really
really
on the Pirates. We had the Pirates here on.
We had the Pirates yesterday. I was off on a couple. I can't lie. Baseball was rough for me yesterday. I went under 50%, which was not cool for me, for anybody. But
the Blue Jays game was crazy, bro. I'm a homer. That game had me lit. The Blue Jays.
I bet a couple of dogs, and it didn't work out. But we're back at it today. I'm gonna actually go into deeper research. I'm not really gonna get into baseball today, right now.
Maybe spaces later. Yeah. We can do a spaces later.
Yeah, I'll tweet stuff out on Twitter as far as what I like. But shout out to my Dodgers. Handling business. We're back to being the hottest team in baseball.
Super.
So you love to see it.
Thanks as well. Jonathan asks, have you made pictures for the Sixers game? Yeah, Sosa said he's on the Sixers.
I like the Sixers to cover tonight.
Yeah, and he said a few props.
And I'm on Embiid's props. I mean, Embiid to score 30 should be pretty easy. He scored 30 in 30 minutes the other night.
Guys, this is the most exciting time. This is the most exciting time in a variety of industries. There's a lot of forces and factors going on in the world that are changing a lot of things. Let's all band together and continue to make money, share information, follow Sosa the Locksmith. For now, I got to get out. Visit SportX.Bet.
Likewise.
Sign up for free, and we're out for now. Thanks. It's time to get back to work, back to the lab.
Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Mm-hmm.